That's my baby. I'm dying. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Kicking it stateside, back a special edition Sunday. Again, of course, in 2020, of course, leading into 2021, a very 2020 turn of events. I've been trying to kick a cold or whatever the hell I have. So today's the first day I feel actually sort of decent. So you're going to have to bear with me here. My good friend Brian Wheeler to steer me through this whole damn debacle that we're going to have today. So,
you know, I got you, brother. And in perfect 2021 fashion, we open up our show for the year with a score alert. Leicester just put one on the board. Beautiful goal by James Maddison.
James Maddison looking, I know he was a little banged up to start the season and kind of through the restart back in like June-ish, but he seems to have found his scoring boots a little bit recently, which is good for them because, you know, as much as Jamie Vardy is basically the catalyst for this whole team, you know, James Maddison is just as good. So when they're all clicking together, it makes a world of difference.
Oh yeah, they need to find scoring other than Vardy if they want to continue to work their way up the table. Can't just all fall on his shoulders. So that's good to see for them. Nice 1-0 lead now in the about 56th minute here. So we open up a show with a score alert. It's been a hell of a week, bro, since Boxing Day. It's crazy to feel like it's only really been a week and a day since our last show. And Arsenal's won 3 games since the last time we got off the air.
I know, it's insane that, you know, with the festive fixtures, I was even going to bring that up, that Boxing Day game was literally not even like a week ago, like you said, like 8 days ago. And it feels like it was like 2 weeks ago.
I went from jumping off the cliff to I'm hanging on now. I'm hanging back on. I know. Obviously, Chelsea was a big win. The other two were kind of games that you're supposed to win, but they hadn't been winning them. So it's been a good, been a really good week on my end. Just as a sport as a whole, all of a sudden United sitting in second, like that came out of absolute nowhere.
Yeah,
they're firing on all cylinders. So it's been quite an interesting run here with all these games. And now coming back to you guys on a Sunday, we've had, you know, the ability to watch the Friday and the Saturday games as well. So there's plenty to talk about across the world of soccer, especially in the Prem.
Yeah, I mean, again, with this whole festive fixtures, you know, we've had, I think every team played about at least 3 games legit probably in the last like 10 days. So
yeah,
and you're going to see, and you saw a lot of rotated sides. You saw a lot of guys that haven't really played much in the past week or so for whatever reason it is. But I guess to go on the poll question today, you know, the fact that Man U has been playing so well, obviously Bruno Fernandes, that's something we can talk about then. I know we want to talk about kind of teams of 2020, a guy that's made the biggest impact, and things to look forward to, I guess, in this 2021 calendar season. You know, any transfer news that we might have heard, any transfer news that maybe teams are looking at to needs.
Silly season's starting. You know,
oh yeah.
You know, it's already opening up with the January window here. So yeah, I'm excited to see what everybody's going to do, what we have in store, and yeah, we'll talk about all of it.
Yeah, and like I said, poll question, the form that Manchester United's in, do you think they have a legit chance to win the league? Agree or disagree is our poll question today. I would say, I'm sure a lot of people, especially United fans, are thinking that this could be a good year. This could be it. With the additions of Bruno Fernandes and the team, and Pogba this is his time in the season where he all of a sudden decides that he wants to play a little bit. When things are going well, he enjoys his time. And then sometimes he just doesn't want to play. And they're so much better of a team when him and Bruno are clicking and when Rashford is, on his game as well.
Yeah, I know they're going to be without Cavani for a little bit, and he's done well for them. But another team that you're going to be interested to see what they do here in this January window. There's definitely probably a need, I think, for some defense still for them. I think offensively they're solid as long as they can stay healthy. That's been their biggest issue of late with Rashford and Martial. And now you're talking about Cavani getting this ban, 3-game ban. So they're going to need to find definitely some help in the back and definitely some consistent scoring to stay healthy. I guess they got to figure out what they're doing in goal too, if it's going to be Henderson or if it's going to be a rotation between him and De Gea. But right now, if you're a Man United fan, you got to be excited. I know a couple of the guys I know are pretty pumped up right now. They will have a game in hand as well after this weekend on Liverpool. So we'll see what Liverpool ends up doing. They haven't been playing up to par so much lately. In these last couple, drawing some games they shouldn't. So I don't know. I think United has a chance to make a run. I think there's a few other teams, as we talk about week after week, that are going to have a chance. But if you want to say right now, do they have a legitimate chance about halfway through the season? I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure Liverpool has something to say about that right now. And with Liverpool being the champs, they're sitting there thinking, well, you got to get through us, basically, if you want to win this thing. And I guess the whole thing is consistency for United going forward. If they can get consistent play from the guys in the midfield, like I mentioned, and Rashford can score, and, they could get decent defending. Obviously, Maguire's the stalwart back there. But, during this week, 8-day, 10-day period, Eric Bailly has really stepped in there and played well.
Yeah, my Ivory Coast man is back. Kind of had been forgotten about. You almost didn't even realize he was still at United.
Yeah.
And he's finally fit and ready to go, and that could be a huge addition because he's a solid defender as well. I think for them, the nice thing is you want to be in Champions League and you want to compete. But I think with the elimination from Champions League, now they pretty much can focus all their energy on the Prem. They don't really have to worry about Europa. They're not going to have to win Europa to get back into the Champions League as long as they finish in the top 4 of the Prem anyway. So now I think they can all resources. They can use Europa to maybe look at some young talent and go from there. But they're in a good position compared to some other teams right now that we thought might be in a little bit better shape that have kind of come back down to earth in the last couple of weeks with this heavy schedule. They're in good shape.
Yeah, it's again, I know silly season like we mentioned. Danny James I saw possibly getting loaned out to West Brom. I don't know how true that is or not, but these teams in the bottom, to kind of switch gears quick, they need the scoring. Like West Brom, if they want to get out of relegation, they could use a Danny James. And, I know Sheffield is a whole different animal to that, we can get into more when we get to them, but it's brutal, setting a record for most consecutive losses to start a Premier League season at 17, I think.
Yeah, it's time to just sell anything high that you have right now if you're Sheffield. Anything anybody wants to take, just get rid of now because, you can't go out buying.
No,
in the position that you're in right now, you can't spend money.
They just bought Rhian Brewster, they thought, to help their scoring situation for $30 million. So that basically tied you up.
You know what the nice thing is? Rhian Brewster showed that he can score in the championship because that's where they're going to be next year. And they have him for the next 5 years. So at least they know when they go back next year to the championship, they'll have a guy to score and maybe they can
get
right back up. So, that's literally the only positive I think Sheffield can take away right now because it's just dreadful. They went from one of the most fun and exciting teams last year that you and I look forward to their games every week. Every week we were talking about, man, Sheffield, who could they take off this week? And they were doing it. They were upsetting teams. They were playing well. And this week now, if you see it on the schedule, it doesn't matter who they're playing. You're like, I got laundry to do, or I got something I got to go do while this game's on. I don't have time.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's literally anything possible. You can the littlest things out there are probably better than watching the Sheffield team. Whatever you want to call it, are they even a team at this point? It's like it's so brutal.
I don't know. 17 games in and you have 2 points. That's dreadful.
And again,
that's really dreadful.
They interviewed Ollie Norwood after the game yesterday, and he said, winning is addicting, but also losing can be that way too. You just get in that mindset where you get down a goal and they automatically put their head down and it's over.
Yeah, right now they have a big loser's mentality.
And it's hard to flip that switch.
Yeah, there's just no spark. There's nothing there. I don't know. Again, you've talked about it with Sheffield. Maybe they're just so, being such the club that they are, they're just so fan-driven. Not having that edge is just absolutely has killed them because they haven't been good since COVID hit last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when their downfall started at the end of last season when we first got into the whole COVID part and the restart and the no fans in the stands. And now this year, obviously with nothing, there's nothing going on good right now in Sheffield.
No. And it's amazing. It's amazing the turnaround or the downfall that they've had when we were talking about, wow, they could really get a Champions League spot.
Yeah. They were almost a shoo-in for Europa. That was and then they fell out of that too. It was just...
I don't know if I've ever seen a complete 180 of a team like this before. When you're at the highest of high back in March to now where you're afraid that you might even do the double.
Yeah.
They could get this shit kicked out of them in the championship too at this point.
they could, absolutely.
It's bad.
The championship, people don't realize, obviously the championship is what it is, but it's not a bad league. And if you go down there and you lose a couple pieces too, once you do get relegated, you sell off a couple of your pieces to get a few bucks back in your pocket. Next thing you know, you're in major trouble, and you do the double, and it could be a scary place, definitely.
Yeah, just ask Sunderland and some of those teams that have done said double before, and you find out how hard it is to get back to the Prem.
I was watching the Watford-Swansea game yesterday, and in typical Watford fashion, they end up losing 2-1 to Swansea. So, with their 11th coach in 13 months, they're in bad shape.
Speaking of brutal teams,
Yeah.
Jakey chiming in. What's up, boys? I agree with Man United, but over the past few years, you got to expect disappointment. That's a mentality of that is the mentality. You're so
Welcome
used to it.
welcome to being an Arsenal fan. I mean, that's at least there's a little bit more positivity sitting second in the table compared to 11th. But yeah, you do start. That's the problem. After a while, when your teams start to struggle like that, you almost come to expect to be let down. So
just failure is coming.
yeah, I mean, at this point, you look at them though, and you look at the rest of the table, and they definitely look like a top 4 team. Do they look like a team that can really push Liverpool in a title race? Again, I guess it's so hard to tell. I would really want to probably dive back to this once we get through this transfer window, because I think that's going to tell you a lot about a lot of teams going forward and who's pushing for what to end this season and get off going into next season as well.
I mean, I would definitely agree that they look like a top 4 team for sure. But again, it's if you're used to disappointment, I'm sure that's in the back of the players' minds as well, And all the pressure that's on Ole, and just there's so many things that can happen wrong that may happen. I would love to see a good United team. The Prem was the best when under, Sir Alex, when United was actually winning titles and doing really well, but we haven't seen that in a long time from them.
Yeah, we do always say, a lot of certain leagues are just better when certain teams are competitive. It makes for more interesting talk. They're one of the bigger teams in the world, so their fan base is super deep. So when they're doing well and you get the banter, good and bad, from that fan base, it's definitely a good thing to have. So as much as I hate seeing their success as an Arsenal fan, it is nice for the league, definitely, to see that. So,
what's up, Chrome? Happy New Year.
I was looking at this potential handball. Looks like on Yedlin, but I don't know. Nah, you can't call that.
You never know. VAR.
Yeah. Nope, they didn't even step in. So it looked for a second, but he was clean. Going back to Watford real quick, they've dropped all the way to 6th in the championship table with that loss.
I saw that.
So Norwich is still 1, Swansea's 2, Bournemouth is 3. Brentford's creeping back up. They're actually tied with Bournemouth in points. Reading then Watford. So good old championship talk.
Hey, I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, we do, absolutely.
A possible Canary trip back to the Prem.
Can you imagine? Here they come again.
I mean, it certainly looks like that way. That not many are. What's up?
Hold on. Shot that. Yuri. Score alert. Yuri Tillmans. Rocket. Nice Mark Albright assist.
Marky.
Yeah. Little hook past the goalie. 72nd minute. 2-0 Foxes.
Well, this is the Foxes team that we like to see.
I was going to say, you can all but wrap this one up against a Newcastle team that does not come from behind well.
Yeah, Newcastle, again, I don't even know. Their production and their goal production is like, where do they get it from? There's like no one that you could really count on.
Callum, that's it.
Right.
And a lot of that's from the spot too, I guess. He's not always getting them in the run of play. And that, like any team where we talk about, it can't just be one guy. Even with like teams like Leicester and all, it can't just be Vardy. It's got to be multiple options.
Seriously. I mean, you can't one man cannot put his team on his back unless you're like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi or the GOATs of the world.
Yeah, Almiron had been playing better, but now he looks like he's just back flopping and rolling and crying again. So
Makes sense.
yeah, typical.
Chrome said he'd have to disagree.
He disagrees. Okay.
So there's Jake's on the fence. Chrome says no. It's very hard for me to say that a United team under Ole Gunnar is going to win the Premier League over said like Liverpool or something like that. It's hard for me to envision on that last day of the year Paul Pogba holding up the Premier League trophy. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be
That would shut up a lot of
spectacle?
people.
Yeah.
Including myself, probably.
So I've never had a bad word to say about the guy other than, he doesn't seem to have the same energy when he plays for United that he does anywhere else. So, but
I don't know. I really don't. Still can't figure him out after all these years.
Yeah. If Leicester can hold on here, that would bump them temporarily up to third.
Leicester to 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Before we go on, you got to give a shout out to the sponsors. This is actually going to make me a little upset. I'm noticing that our good doctor might be out of the Princeton location.
Oh, really?
I'm only seeing 2 wonderful locations.
Are we dropping Princeton? Did he drop Princeton?
Maybe just for the times they couldn't keep that third one.
Yeah, I mean that's happening a lot actually. I know my one dentist office had a couple locations and they've since limited down a little bit because of everything going on. So,
well, that's upsetting because that was my little slogan.
Yeah,
People are finally catching on to it, and then you got to drop it off. Damn, that's a bummer. But yes, go check out our good doctor, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC. Find them at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Only 2 locations. We got Burlington and in Cherry Hill. Again, if you're not comfortable with going into the office, you can always do a virtual consultation online. Figure out what's going down. He's the best. He'll diagnose whatever you got. Also, the Ambuck Services guys. Again, it was 50 degrees yesterday, so that would have been a perfect time for me to say another 50-degree day.
It was supposed. I swear it was supposed to be today too, and I was gonna call you out and be like, dude, you keep saying we're not getting one, and we're getting one, and I'm okay with it. So keep saying we're not, because I'll take 50-degree Saturdays and Sundays going into December, January. But this morning was just nasty, absolutely nasty, all ice and whatever. So hopefully you got your stuff done when we told you to. You had the time.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the more north you got a little. I think they got snow back in the Lehigh Valley. My mom was saying so, but it's pretty clean
I had all
in
ice this morning.
Philly.
It was ice rain. I had ice rain, but
ice rain.
I get up early, so it's since warmed up and changed over to, it looks like just rain. So
just a little ice rain, but yes.
Just your weekly weather report from
weather report.
Stateside.
Usually involves me jinxing the weather, saying there's not going to be 50-degree days for the rest of the winter, and of course 50 degrees yesterday. But yes, the Ambuck Services guys, get your gutters, your deck restored. Obviously, we don't really have many leaves anymore, but spring is just around the corner, so you got to get those bushes trimmed up again. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be allowed to have people in our backyards again at one point.
Put some good use to these stimulus checks you're getting. Call them up, put a deposit down on some deck work maybe for the spring.
Excellent
You know,
call. Excellent call.
Get something set up and set. Don't go out buying a whole bunch of fireworks and keeping everybody's dogs up at night.
No fireworks.
Do something good with your money.
No fireworks.
Put it on
no
a deck.
PS5s. None of that.
Yeah, put it on a deck. I actually thought I was going to have to go buy a PS5. My PS4 conveniently just stopped working yesterday morning. I think it's a setup.
Convenience, yeah.
They're trying to force you to go buy that. But I did a big reboot and got it up working again. I had to wipe a lot of stuff off, but holding on to that PS4 a little bit longer.
There you go.
But yeah, call the gutter guys up.
Please.
Let them come do work their magic. It's nothing like a backed up gutter in a snowstorm.
The worst. But yeah, we can start, I guess, on Friday. We can kind of go back that way and work our way back to today. So Friday we had West Ham beating Everton 1-0, late one. Of course, the man that's been scoring a lot of goals for West Ham, Mr. Thomas Suchak. Again, right place, right time, puts the ball in the net.
He's definitely making a pitch for my Premier League first team, possibly, maybe second team by the time the season's all done. But this guy has just shown up constantly so far for this West Ham team. And he's looking like the addition that they thought he was going to be a year ago. And again, like we talked about, obviously with COVID, it was tough for training and guys getting kind of their feet under them with new squads. So it didn't start off so great for him as a signing. But right now it's looking like a great addition to this West Ham team. And they are still sitting in 10th place. Another 3 points off his late goal. So.
Which is surprising. I thought West Ham was playing well enough to be up more at the top and not all the way in 10th.
That's how well everybody else is playing. That's the crazy part. You look above them and everybody else is starting to step their game up. So
very competitive at the top. And I mean, as far as Everton, they've been really hot, and then they've been really cold, and then they've been really hot. Now they're starting to. It's very roller coaster like from the Toffees.
Yes, and big time.
Now it's. I haven't even seen. Has Richarlison even played in the last couple of games?
To be honest with you, I don't think so. He's kind of. I know he was knocked. Was he in this? He was in the 11. Starting 11. Actually, he played the whole game in this one.
Okay.
So, but he's been like, you haven't even noticed him on the pitch. It was we were so praising everything Ancelotti had done, getting him going because no one else did, and it's kind of died off. The scoring from Calvert-Lewin has definitely slowed down a little bit. So yeah, Everton is. Not quite. You can't be upset if you're an Everton fan. You're sitting 5th.
Yeah.
Because of the hot start, but they're still missing things. They're definitely missing James. Yep. He was a nice addition, and he really got things moving with that offense. And their numbers have taken a big hit since he's been out. So, quick score alert too. I didn't get a chance. Your fave, Andy Carroll. A nice goal for Newcastle, getting them back in this with about 8 minutes to go. So,
Andy Carroll sighting. Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of life from Newcastle at home here. So maybe they can make a late push and get this thing drawn up. We might have given those 3 points away a little too fast.
Of course, the commentators jinx.
Oh yeah. There's certain sports where you got to be careful when you say it. Teams make a run. Soccer, number one, 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in the game, they always say. So, And I've seen it firsthand, giving up a 2-goal lead very quickly.
It's happened. It did happen the other day. What else? Oh, yeah, Friday we had Man U beating Villa, which another surprising team in Villa actually playing pretty well. You know, they're sort of in the Everton camp where they started really hot and then they kind of cooled down, but then they're starting to pick it up again. You know, they play well against teams. Maybe they don't get the results that they want, but you know, they played well against Chelsea, I thought, well enough to deserve a point in that. And I thought they played well enough against United to deserve a point. Unfortunately, they couldn't come away with one, but I think they've been formidable. I think Bertrand Traore is another guy that's probably up for possibly newcomer of the year when it's all said and done this season. He's the one that's been getting the goals. El Ghazi has been on fire.
Yeah.
If they could just – it seems like they just need to put it all together. Maybe get, Jackie going. I know Johnny McGinn doesn't have the stats, but he's running around like a crazy person out there. So they just don't really have an out-and-out striker. Like Wesley stinks. They have this Kieran Davis guy. I mean, Ollie Watkins has
been good.
Yeah,
he was. He was off to a great start to start the year. He's cooled off a little, but he's been solid.
He's better than what they have available.
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember with them too. When we talk about it, it's been a while now, obviously, since they've been promoted, over a year and a half now. But it was a big transition for them losing Tammy. Tammy was what got them up into the Prem again, and then to lose him and have to kind of start fresh and find scoring and find that help. It's not easy, when you have a guy like that putting 20 plus goals in the net for you, and next thing you know, he's out the door. So,
yeah, and I mean, have they really found a replacement? Not really. I mean, Ollie has been good. He's been bright in spots this season, but he's still getting his footing, coming up from the championship. But yeah, I mean, as far as results, I'm sure they would have enjoyed maybe getting 3 points in some of these games recently. But I think
they got to be happy. At least getting the draw with Chelsea midweek this week. They got the win earlier on Boxing Day, so they got 4 points out of the 3 games with Chelsea and United on the schedule. So if you're Villa, you got to be relatively happy still, I guess. You said sitting in 7th. They're one of those teams that has at least 1 game in hand as well. With having missed a game or 2 early in the season. They've only played 15 compared to teams that are 16 and 17. So they're in good shape. They should be around to stay. I would expect them to add at the transfer window as well.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't, nothing big, but I would think they would. I don't think they're getting rid of anybody. I don't think you're going to see any of their big time guys going.
No, I think they've entered the chat of the buyers instead of sellers, because now they're trying to upgrade their defense. They made great additions with Matty Cash last year. Matty Target's been playing really well in their back line. Obviously, with Tyrone Mings is kind of the stalwart back there in their back line. So all around, it's a good team. I think, if they could string some wins together, they could be fighting for a Europa League spot at the end of the year, all said and done.
No doubt.
And if you would have told me from them barely staying up last year to getting a Europa League spot, that would be like, all right, well, we'll take that in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you're a team like Villa from where it was looking at one point last year to where you're at now, you got to be extremely pleased and somewhat not comfortable, but somewhat comfortable, I guess, as a fan, knowing that you should be here, no problem, for another year.
Yeah. And again, they made great signings in the offseason. They locked up Jackie Grealish to make him happy. And I think they did all was right, They were like, we need to improve. We weren't good enough last season, so we got to make some moves. Hopefully Jack will come back to us, and he did, and I think that's low-key one of the better signings. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Martinez is another low-key, really good signing for them.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you couldn't cock-block him anymore.
No, he was an Arsenal guy for 12 years, and he literally was on loan year after year after year. He finally comes back. He played great, but you did have Leno finally get healthy.
You can't sit Burnley down.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision, but it was the right decision, and I'm really happy for Emmy because I was a big fan. Happy to see him doing big things. So it was a win-win for everybody. Arsenal needed some money at the time. But
I think it worked out for both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely Villa. Villa's like my new Sheffield United this year. I love watching them play.
Yeah, they're an entertaining team.
What else? I guess moving along to yesterday, we had a full slate. We got the early breakfast game. We got Spurs putting it on Leeds. Of course, crazy to say that Harry Kane and Sonny scored, and they assisted each other as well. Crazy.
Yeah, amazing. Who would have thought?
Like I said, they're both just, I don't even know if they were training together or what the hell's going on, but they seem to have this insane connection this year that's just driving them to be into the form they're in right now, which is what? Are they in third?
No, they've dropped.
They dropped.
I was looking something up. They are currently in fourth.
Fourth.
Right now. Yes. Because of the Leicester win. The Leicester game is final, so.
Okay.
They were in third. They just dropped that at the moment to third. To fourth. Sorry.
But still, top four for Spurs.
Oh, they're in great form. As an Arsenal fan, I would love to be in that same kind of form that they've been in for the last couple months here.
When you have those two playing as well as they have been, you would expect them to be in the top four.
Yeah.
I guess. As far as Leeds, I don't know. It's one of those, they give up a lot of goals to good teams. But at the same point, they beat teams that I guess they're kind of supposed to beat, which is always kind of tough, especially for a newly promoted side. That you want to beat the teams below you. And it seems like Leeds has been doing that. But you're right. They don't get a lot. Jackie Harrison, he shows up once in a while. I know he scored in that thrashing of who the hell they beat like 5-0 recently. Last week. This is what happens when there's too many games.
That was Boxing Day, wasn't it? That was.
Oh yeah, they beat West Brom 5-0 on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the midweek, so that was the start. That was their midweek game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dominated West Brom, but West Brom is showing their true colors right now, so they're in just as bad shape as, well, not as Sheffield, but they're in pretty bad shape. But yeah, Leeds. Daniel's right. Leeds needs help. They have some offense. It's just been all Bamford. So I don't know. And they definitely need help on the defensive end, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to bring in Robin Koch, and he's been hurt.
He did okay. But they definitely need a little bit more help than him.
Well, you're trying to rely on, Stuart Dallases of the world and, Luke Ayling, which these guys had outstanding seasons last year to get you up. But, are they?
Yeah, they're not taking you to the promised land.
Are they true Premier League, elite starters? Good morning, Gregory.
Good morning, Greg. And Patrick, you can go fuck yourself. Go Giants. Go Giants. Love you. Welcome.
Welcome, though, yeah.
Go G-Men.
He's confused, but I like it. Thanks.
He's lost, but it's okay.
I know. We switched it up on you. You're thinking Sunday, probably an NFL show. Nope. Just kidding.
There's always a home here for you. Just keep that shit out of here.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I'm trying to queue up your teams getting ready to play here in about 15 minutes. So trying to get that up on my screen.
Go Skins, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I wore this hat. Maybe just a tank job hat.
If the Giants win, obviously I got to root for the Eagles, which is a just absolute killer. If the Giants lose, I'm definitely going to root for the Eagles again because I don't want you getting a top 3 draft pick. So
fuck it up anyway.
Either way, let's go Birds.
Yay.
So back on track. Back to the Prem here.
Back to the football. Crystal Palace beat Sheffield. Speaking of teams that is going to disappoint at some point, as the Palace DC fans would say, they're like, oh yeah, great win against the Sheffield team, but everyone beats them.
That's how bad it is to be Sheffield right now.
Yeah, you're getting worked. You're getting worked at Crystal Palace. Yeah.
They got worked by Palace and they lose to Burnley. Like,
that's tough.
Yeah, I know Arsenal lost to Burnley too, but
that was a different Arsenal.
It was. I mean, right now what he's doing in these last 3 games is what I begged for. I've been begging, and it's finally coming to fruition. I don't know what changed. If he got permission to do so, or he finally just said, my job's getting on the line, so I need to play who I want is going to give us the best chance to win. And he has no problem throwing Aubameyang on the bench. He has no problem throwing Smith Rowe into the mix. 3 straight starts, 3 straight wins.
Yeah,
the kid's playing a great Cam. You ask for them to go out and find something and get you something, but like I said a million times with the whole Chelsea thing, maybe what you have is already there, and you just got to get them on the pitch. Because I don't care if you spend money. Obviously I want you to spend money. I want you to try to get the best team you can get. But if you have them and you've been developing them, and you don't have to spend the money, I'm okay with that too. But you got to play him.
Yeah.
And this kid, he's been non-existent. He's 19 years old. And anytime he was playing from the time he was 17 on, he's had flashes of brilliance. He's done great things. And now all of a sudden he gets a chance on Boxing Day against Chelsea. And he's pretty much one of the top mans of the match. And he started ever since then. And again, I know it was Brighton and I know it was West Brom after Chelsea, but it's 3 straight wins. It's 9 points, and now things aren't looking as bad. It's almost the only thing I'm looking at now is it's like frustrating. You look back at the Burnley game, like you don't lose that game. Now where are you in the table? Or you look at some other games for early in the year when you were that 1 point that Sheffield got out of their 2 points because you tied them. Like that could have been 2 more points that you got. I mean, you start to look at those and you're like, damn, we go from 11th to 6th if we would have handled our business sooner And, it's something that we preach about, that every game matters. Every point matters when it comes to the end of the year. All that shit that they gave up earlier in the year is going to really come back to bite them in the ass, I think, late here. So,
but it's been a great run.
It's been a great run. I've been happy. I've actually enjoyed sitting down and watching this team and, watching how the team should play. Saka is every bit the player that I thought he's going to be, and I think he's only going to get better. He's got to be on the pitch every single game. Like Kieran Tierney, I'm getting texts from United fans telling me that Arsenal has the best left back in the Premier League with Chilwell and Andy Robertson in the same league. So, I was quick to kind of pump the brakes on that and say give it a little bit of time, but the kid's looking good. He changed that whole game yesterday with that goal, with the assist. Like, he's a catalyst. If you can build like Liverpool did from those wings back and get some help in the middle and, let the offense worry about itself, it's going to be a good turnaround here. So,
saying it's a deadly formula. I mean, you're playing that Smith Rowe guy's pretty damn good. He's looked bright.
Yeah.
Him and Saka seem to have a nice little connection, and Laka gets his 2 yesterday, which is great. Good for him.
Laka scoring. That's what, 3 in the last 3 games?
Yeah, you just need that other guy to wake up a little bit.
Or 4 in the last 3. Sorry,
but
I'm not worried about the other guy. I'm done. Not that I'm done with the other guy. You can't be done with your $100 million scoring. But to have a Tom Arnone moment right now, I'm not worried about the other guy. If we're gonna win, the other guy can, play his role. He can go jump out to that left wing spot. He can come off the bench. He can go somewhere else. They could sell him, get some money, build some more defense at this point. I mean, I don't know what else to do. The guy's 30-something years old. I love him. I love everything about his game. I was thrilled. He's one of the fastest to score 50 goals in an Arsenal uniform. He's just electrifying. If this is what you're gonna bring week after week, and you're just not going to help the team win, then I don't need you. I would rather see these guys that are hungry, that maybe want to do something, and it's either that or he's showcasing Laka right now to sell him in this window, and then hand the keys back over to Aubameyang and say, here's the formula. Now you need to play your role. Because that's what this game is. We talk about it. It's role playing. You're a soccer player. You're not a forward. You're not a striker. You're not a winger. You're not a midfielder. You should be a soccer player. You should show up every game, every week, and say, Coach, what can I do to help the team win? Do I have to play here? Do I have to play there? It's the same thing Chelsea's going through. I don't want to hear that, poor Kai Havertz is playing out of position, or this guy's playing out of position. You need to play a role to help your team succeed. Mm. And that is your job as a soccer player to figure it out. Your coach can only do so much. But in the end of the day, he might need you to play out of position and just play soccer. That's what you're there to do.
Straight up.
Yeah. So I'm happy no matter what. With him on the pitch, without him on the pitch.
I mean, three wins in a row will change a lot of mindsets.
Yeah, and it'll change mine. I told you. I was it was looking real dicey. I felt like that I told you, the little yodeler from Price is Right. People were just picking too high, and I was going up that mountain. And now I can slowly ease my way back down for now, till the next one, I guess.
I mean, you never know. You're only 3 points behind Chelsea. After all that.
No, they're only 6 behind Tottenham.
But
that's what I was talking about. That's why I'm actually even more angry, because of the Burnley game and because of some of the early games that should have been better results.
Yeah.
Because what could be right now, we could be sitting in the top 6. And we wouldn't even have these conversations. We wouldn't be looking on Arsenal fan pages and everybody that has not a clue about what actually is going on, and all they see is a couple losses, and they want to throw Arteta out the door. Like, we wouldn't even have to have this issue right now. But unfortunately, because of some of those miscues and not handling your business against the bad teams, we are having those. But
well, you said
I want that talk.
You start cutting the dead weight off. One thing,
Yeah.
you know, David Luiz isn't playing. Amazing, right? I know. You're right. It's just play what you have. Like, you have all these youngsters, and you're trying to build, up through academies, like your Liverpools and stuff, and Chelsea's. And you have the talent. You must see him on the practice field. And then you finally give him a couple starts, and he's been one of the brightest spots on the team.
Dude, this is 3 wins without Gabriel, too. He's been knocked. Pablo Mari comes back off, finally gets a chance to play for Arsenal. And although, he looked a little shaky at a couple moments, again, the results are the results. Since he's been in the starting lineup, you're 3-0 with Pablo Mari and Rob Holding as your center backs.
I know, and Robbie got an extension.
Yeah, because he's looked good. I even told you early in the year, the times he looked bad, it wasn't him. When you go back and you looked at why he looked bad, it was because there was breakdowns in other positions, and he was trying to do too much to help out somebody else. And at the end of the day, it made him look bad. I tell my daughter that all the time, playing that position too. Sometimes, to an eye who totally doesn't see everything, they're going to say, oh, man, you looked really bad making that play. When in reality, you should have never had to make that play if someone else had done their job.
Mm-hmm.
So where, everybody else is kind of coming together now and is making Rob Holding's job easier, and I'll take him as a rotational center back. Do I think he's still a number one, week in, week out on a team that's contending for a title? No. But as we see in this league, you need depth. And to have, a guy that's been around the Arsenal organization and understands what being an Arsenal player is about, it's good to have him locked up and in there and helping the team win. I'd rather have him over David Luiz or Mustafi any day.
Those are 2 names that you should just quiver up if you hear that as an Arsenal fan. Mustafi and Luiz, you should be like, ah!
Yeah. I just started my new FIFA, and I started my Arsenal season, and immediately, the moment I started, Mustafi, transfer block. Luiz, transfer block. Ozil, transfer block. Even Aubameyang, I put on the transfer block because I got $100 million from Bayern for him, and I'm going to go build a defense. Because just what Bayern needed. They needed to sign Aubameyang from
typical Dortmund guy going back to
yeah. Dude, as soon as that alert popped up, I was like, sell.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, take him, please.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, Happy New Year. Hey, it's Eric.
Jacinto.
Eric, sneaking in under the hidden name here.
He does.
Well, he texted me yesterday he wasn't going to be able to catch the show, and I let him know that you were under the weather and we were moving it today. So, not that he was happy you were ill, but he was happy that he was able to check us out today. So,
happy he's a very ill man.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
He's always slipping on the radar. Patrick Taylor was lost there for a little bit. I don't know. I could say a lot about that, but I don't. It's not the time and place. I don't care about number 11. Well, just like you said, I don't care about that $100 million guy.
No.
I was talking about Palace before we went on in Arsenal.
Yeah, I've been all bottled up. It's been a long week. I've been excited.
I just let you go off. I wasn't going to stop you.
Thanks.
But yes, Palace did beat Sheffield 2-0 off an early goal from Mr. Schlupp. And then, of course, Mr. Jeffrey Schlupp gets hurt. His replacement, Eberici Eze, comes on and scores like literally within a minute on the field. And probably one of the better goals we've seen this year.
He was one that, when they signed him, I was really excited to see what he was going to do for this Palace team. And
he glides like a gazelle. Holy shit.
The kid's great. The kid is absolutely great. It's just, I don't know. He hadn't had much time on the pitch early, I guess. And then he wasn't doing a ton with his time, but he definitely, the kid can move. He can play. He's another one of these real good young English players that, gives them a very bright looking future. They're I think, I don't even know if he's 20 yet. He's in that range of that U20 team that's starting to break into the big team.
Yeah. So, you got to watch out if you're an England international, because your youth is very good.
Yeah, it's very bright, and no spot is safe on that team. It's weird. It's like everything else is young, and the strikers are Vardy, Ings, and Kane, like three guys that are. I mean, Kane's very young considerably compared to Vardy and Ings, but it's just funny. Everywhere else, it's like you got to watch your back for these young kids. Unless you're a striker, you got to watch for the old men coming.
Seriously. These some of these older guys, again, that's one position in the England side that you're like, wow, who are their true strikers out there besides HK, who's probably the only one that really cemented his place in that team.
Yeah, because then you still got Tammy, fighting for a job. There's a lot of guys still fighting for that job. Even the younger guy, we talked about Ollie Watkins. He could be a guy that wants to try and win that job. Yeah.
I mean, it's there for the taking, probably. In this.
Yeah, you still have Rashford that, Ooh, Zach Steffen getting the start against Chelsea today.
Yeah, I saw my brother just texted me that. That's big. Big game.
That's huge.
A lot of faith Pep has, I guess, in Zachy, the U.S.
Or no other choice. One or the other.
I mean, I again, Man City fans are complaining about Ederson, but, I mean, it's a lot of faith to put in a kid from Downingtown, PA.
Dude, we would, how, I know we both are in especially this game because it's your team playing them, in how much we just are not supporters, obviously, of City and kind of their whole brand and everything. But, big but here. Like, if this kid succeeds for this team and they are unhappy with Ederson and he does play well and they move Ederson in favor of him, that's huge. Another huge step.
Yeah, it's big.
Our U.S. soccer.
It's a big test for him today. I mean, this is a desperate Chelsea team that needs to win bad.
Yeah.
And they need to string something together. I mean, it's good. I saw the Chelsea lineup. Ziyech is back, which is a nice addition. Hopefully.
Yeah, Pulley's in too.
Yes, he is. Which, again, they need something.
Yeah. They need to fire on all cylinders today, so.
Need a win here. I mean, he's going with Aspie again over Reece James at right back.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now myself. Silva, Zuma, Chilwell, Aspie, Conte, Kovacic again, Mount, Pulisic, Timo, and Ziyech. I mean, that's the front three that you envision in the offseason, when healthy. You would hope that probably Kovacic was probably not in there, and that it was your big money signing. But whatever, like we said, whatever helps you win the game. So if Kai's not the one that's going to help you win the game, and Kovacic is, you play who's going to help you win at this point, especially in a matchup like this. Looks like City's, like we said, going with Stefan, Ruben Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko, and Cancelo, Ilkay, Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Foden, with Raheem Sterling playing kind of the lone forward.
Right.
So, this should be an interesting matchup with the late start. Unfortunately, it will still be on when the show's coming to an end, but we'll have at least a good first half here going on while our show's going on. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's an interesting back line. I know City got hit with COVID a little bit the past week and a half, so they're trying to find fill-ins. I know Kyle Walker and Gabby Jesus are got hit. I don't know who else.
Yeah, they're pretty light in as far as depth goes defensively. Looking here, this kid Taylor Harwood Bellis is in the 18, or I guess it's a 20. I keep saying 18, but I think everybody now has 20. I don't know, with all the COVID stuff going on, it's hard to keep track of who's doing what.
Right.
And let's see, who else do they have? Luke Mbete. So they're bringing up Benjamin Mendy on the bench that's pretty much their defensive depth today. So yeah, they've taken a decent hit.
Eric says 2-1 to the Blues.
Plastic Life says, "What up, guys? What up, Plastic Life?" Eric picking. That's just Eric's disdain for City kicking in. But I don't necessarily disagree with that.
I can't see this Chelsea team winning.
I mean,
against City, unless the inexperience of Zach Steffen in the back line really affects the game. I don't know.
Dude, I'm in such a weird spot right now because, again, you want City to not succeed. It's like as Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, and we have Liverpool fans here. We have fans of everybody. We have City fans as well that watch the show. But for everybody that's not a City fan, the general consensus is you don't want City to succeed. But we are American fans, and again, we talk about having a big-time player now at a big-time club in almost every position on the pitch for our U.S. team, except maybe still at a center back spot and at a goalkeeping spot. So if somehow Zach Steffen can continue to grow and really is what we hoped he is, I mean, that's just a huge step forward. If he's getting everyday time in the Premier League, that's monstrous for a number one goalie for the U.S.
I mean,
it doesn't happen often.
His development at City is going to greatly impact his development on the international level.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does.
It was disappointing when he went there because it was one of those oh man, this is fantastic that our number one goalkeeper is not only got picked up by City, but after his first year being on loan was pulled back to be the number 2. But then again, it's City, so it's like, damn it.
We shall see.
Empire. The evil Empire.
Eric also said, what does he see his boys at Liverpool doing? Anything in January?
Well, we talked a little bit about this last week with Lord Walker. My personal thing is I expect Liverpool to do what Liverpool's been doing. Keeping it light, not overspending, not necessarily going after a crazy, flashy name. They're probably going to add a nice piece or two. I really would think still with Virgil going to be out for a while still, they probably want to get another maybe veteran center back. because they are a little thin there still. Other than that, midfield's fine. The forward spots are fine. I wouldn't go too crazy if you're them. The formula's been working. Like we talked about, they're not even one of the biggest spending clubs, and they keep finding the right guys to fill the right places. So I wouldn't be upset if you don't go get out the biggest name in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe any center back depth. Obviously, you're so hurt there with now Matip's gone for 3 weeks. I saw, obviously, Joey Gomez and Virgil's out. I don't know. Akanji I saw from Dortmund might be a nice fix, but I guess it all depends on how long Virgil and Joe Gomez are going to be out for.
Yeah, well, Virgil we know is still going to be a while. That injury takes. We're looking at almost a full calendar year from the time he got hurt. So, but Gomez should be back. Eric said, "Don't fix what's not broken." Yeah, you don't want to just start going crazy and spending $100 million for no reason.
Well, you signed that freaking Greek guy, Samikis or whatever. Haven't seen him.
He's still young. You still got him in the wings, but you know, I would think with losing Lovren this past window, he was a good vet to have in there. If this Liverpool team is built to have like somebody that's been around for a little bit at that position, you don't want to just be trying to bring in kid after kid. I don't think not with this team. You know, I stand by that for certain teams because the position they're in, but this is not the team you want to do that. You want to build around what you have. You're making a push for another title. You want to bring in a guy that's been there and done that. So yeah, there's going to be a few available within the Prem and guys that, you know, are coming from other leagues as well. So
yeah, Liverpool, they don't really spend, like you said. I don't think they're going to look for anything too crazy, especially in January. Not much is going to be available. Because if you're a championship side, and you're good, you probably want to keep your best players so you can make that final push for promotion. So, they're
gonna have.
I mean, Liverpool has enough guys, I think, to get by. Maybe some midfield depth because Jota's going to be out for another month and a half or so. But
yeah, you got guys. You got guys like Naby Keita and Minamino and even Georgie that like they don't even play that much. So you start to forget about them, but they're there and they have a ton of depth. Like they really do. Even with the injuries, they have a ton of depth at a lot of positions. And I'm not concerned if I'm a Liverpool fan again, other than maybe adding some help in the back.
Yeah, makes sense at this point. That your front three is pretty much set in stone and seems to be not. You shouldn't even touch that.
Well, speaking of a guy whose name's going to come up again, finally gets his first goal of the season for your boys. Jadon Sancho grabs a goal and Dortmund got a nice 2-0 win against Wolfsburg today. So Sancho finally gets on the board.
They need to
believe.
Start winning because they've sucked.
Yeah.
They were in 6th coming into this. I think they might have jumped to 4th, but Union Berlin was all the way up to 4th, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I told you, watch out for Union Berlin.
I don't know. As long as Schalke gets relegated, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much probably going to happen.
Oh, who did I see? It is Schalke. So one move that has already happened on the Arsenal end is they have loaned Said Klosniak to Schalke for the remainder of this season.
Well, that's
it's
tough.
Official. He was with Kieran Tierney. You know, obviously his time was going to be less and less. With Tierney healthy now, they wanted him to keep playing. And Schalke is doing everything they can to avoid relegation. They only have 4 points right now, sitting at the bottom of the Bundesliga table. So he's going to be going there on a 6-month loan with one objective is to help get them out of relegation and get him some playing time as well. So he is still technically a gunner, but he will be with Schalke for the remainder of the year.
It's a match made in heaven because that's where he came from at Schalke.
Yeah, well, that's why he's going back there to save their ass. So it's kind of a cool story. Like I hope he is successful. He helps that defense, who is minus 31 in goal differential right now, worst by far in the Bundesliga. So it's good for him because he does need to play. His playing time was just going to be absolutely diminished now with Kieran playing the way he is. So that's the first move that I know Arsenal has pretty much made since this January window is opening up.
Well, thank God Weston McKennie got out of there while the ship is sinking. I know it's not a permanent deal yet, but I'm assuming that they will make it to try and get some money, Schalke, so they can buy some money.
I don't think Juventus is going to want him leaving anytime soon because he's not only just playing, but he's
been great.
Playing well. Yeah. He is just as much a reason, I'll say it, just as much a reason for their success of recent than Ronaldo even. I mean, the kid has been doing everything he can to help that team win, so. Tom's here, and Patrick still. He's just, he's breaking news that's either inaccurate and or weeks old. So thanks, Patrick. Appreciate
I don't know.
you.
I don't know what time. I don't know what time Tommy and those guys are going on tonight because we're playing at 8. But watch their show tonight, and you'll find all the good news out. And I'm sure Wentz to the Colts that's a very lazy narrative.
Yeah, well, I guess I just got on my phone. There was a Mort report, so I'm not gonna wrong show, wrong time. But we're not gonna worry about that again. Your logo picture sucks. Eric's always been a supporter of me. I appreciate you. E. Go G-Men, and then go Birds later on tonight.
I know I'm throwing everybody off with my hat, but I try to put myself together in the most part.
Patrick, we know it just came up on the ESPN app, but again, I don't know if you're on mute or you're just having to want to just keep throwing the wrong football talk in there. But
I don't know. I'm guessing mute.
I'm guessing mute.
I'll have to put my hat away. I don't know.
I love your hat. Wear it.
Wear it with pride.
Looks great.
I don't know. What else yesterday? Oh, actually a really good game. Brighton and Wolves yesterday.
Yeah, that was a quite the back and forth. A little 6-goal draw. Guess if you're Wolves, you're a bit disappointed. You don't want to.
I mean, Nuno was pretty pissed off at the end of the game. In his post-game presser, they're like, "Oh, did you think the game was over at halftime? Would you think you're going to put it away?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." Well, they give up a PK right after halftime, and then
you're up 3-1 at the half. Yeah, that's a killer. You get one right before the half to get up 3-1, and then literally the first minute into the second half, you give one right back, and you open the door to a team. And again, we talk about a 2-goal lead in this game is very dangerous because quickly it goes down to 1, and now for 45 more minutes you're fighting and fighting and fighting, and Lewis Dunk does what Lewis Dunk does and gets a late goal for Brighton in the 70th minute, and by then it's too late. You're still missing Jimenez big time. If you're the Wolves, he was always good for that late push and that late goal.
Yeah.
Get you over the hump, and
They
end up getting out of
either.
there. Yeah.
They got to rely on Pedro Neto and Ruben Neves.
Yeah, and Ruben Neves, I mean, he's been pretty good.
Yeah,
But
Portugal FC, they always are in games.
yeah, he's not Jimenez, unfortunately. There's not a lot of guys that are Jimenez.
No. I mean, but it's very disappointing draw for Wolves. Because this is a game that they should have had in hand, and you give up that PK right after halftime, and you give Brighton all that momentum and think they're back in the game, and it's tough. It's a tough way to sit back then the whole second half after giving that up. You know, that tying goal was just coming.
Yeah, those are 2 points you're gonna really regret late in the year. And speaking of regret, oh my God, De Bruyne it's a goal that he doesn't miss, man. You guys are very fortunate to still be tied 0-0 right now. He beats the defense, beautiful pass, right in the middle of the box. Barely has any coverage on him. Mendy comes up. Again, Mendy looked a little out of position there, and if he could have put it inside that post, it would be 1-0 City. But unfortunately, he misses wide to the left, or fortunately, whatever. How you want to look at it, depending on who you root for.
Yeah.
And still tied 0-0. So.
Well, that's good. I mean,
again, this is a game I'm rooting at for a draw, obviously.
Oh, you want a 0-0 draw because you got a lot of guys on both sides in that fantasy team, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 0-0 draw would be nice here.
A little matchup with your boy.
Yeah. Been some recent struggles lately. I haven't been able to. I haven't set my roster in it feels like it's 3 weeks of fantasy. It's been 1 week, but 3 weeks of fantasy now. I haven't set my roster because it's all been in 1 week, and so I've just been rolling with what I have, and what I've had's been pretty good. So I'm not too upset about it. But fantasy Premier League is very tricky with 3 games in 1 week. And when the deadlines are to have your roster set and all that. Yeah. So, yeah.
With COVID and people rotating sides, like this week, I still don't have 4 guys not even playing.
Yeah.
Like in the Burnley game against Fulham got postponed because Fulham's going through the COVID thing. Sucks.
Score alert.
Oh, no.
Score alert.
Oh, no.
Ilky.
No.
Ilky with a rocket, bottom right corner of the net. Play seemed to break down. 17th minute. Let's see. De Bruyne lets that one go. Just good passing. Ilky turns Silva a little bit out of position, and Thiago gets beat. Strong right foot, and off Mendy's glove, and just not enough wrist strength. Keep that one out. 1-0 City.
Damn it. I didn't have a good feeling about going into the game. And if they get just run off the pitch, that hot seat for Frankie just going up another click. The heat is going.
It's such a shame because obviously he asked for the money. He said, here, I took what you gave me. This team had no money spent on it. I got it into a top 4. I got it into Champions League. Now I need some money if you want to get this thing to the next level. So I guess there's a big part of it that falls on him. I don't know how much all these players were his selection as well. Was he the proponent to all of them, as well as not just saying, hey, I want this money spent, but I want it spent on these guys? Because if it is, then hot seat is you gotta turn the heat up. because this is what you asked for. But if some of these guys weren't necessarily his say, I don't know. I don't know because I'm not inside those doors. But you spent $260 million. You added, again, what I was saying is probably still, I think, maybe the second best left back in the league. I've argued, the Chilwell Robertson between people. Everybody forgets how good Chilwell was last year for Leicester and why he got that contract. I know you weren't a fan of the Thiago Silva signing. No. And he just made another bad play, and it is 2-0 City. Yes.
Right on.
Yeah. So right on cue. Thiago Silva he looks lost out there all of a sudden. Kai Havertz can't even get on the pitch.
It could be. It's a real mess.
It's a mess, and like you said, I mean, this hot seat is heating up. Let's see if this was all legit. Onsides. Phil Foden with a beautiful little. Mendy's got to save that. I don't know where Eddie is right now, but I know he's screaming somewhere for Kepa. So I'm guessing he's watching this. I'm going to see if he's on social media, just blowing up his Facebook page. He was on an hour ago. Let's see where he's at. You here, Eddie? Are you around?
He's saying, "Yep, there's Kepa."
He hasn't posted in an hour, so I don't know. He's hopefully he's okay right now.
Bringing
Keps. Yeah, he's begging for Kepa.
I mean, I thought Mendy was looking good, and then all of a sudden in the past, 3 weeks, he's made some really – he's indecisive. He's been very indecisive. And that's alarming for a goalie.
It looks like I'm going to have to put in Dean Henderson in my fantasy team full-time now. And this is a double-edged sword for you because now you might take me down this week because these 2 goals he just let up.
It's a good possibility. I mean, if City gets a clean sheet, I could be in trouble.
Yeah. And they're coming fast and furious right now. They're attacking the net. That was almost a third one right there. Big save by Mendy.
Shambles. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what Frankie's plan is. If he's not motivating the guys, if everybody's just, I don't really know.
Dude, this is not. Yeah, this is just not where you want to be if you're a Chelsea fan right now. Down 2-0, 22 minutes into this game. After recent, losing to Arsenal, right there is a rough start to any run, and then just drawing Villa is kind of, you would think you would get a win there. And now today, I mean, it wasn't looking good having to play City too, but definitely not the dream start.
In a big match like this, no, you can't be down 2-0 right off the jump.
Yeah.
Because now City,
the only positive thing,
just going to smell blood in the water and go after you more.
I guess the only positive is that you guys can score. So,
for the most part.
Yeah.
Who knows? You need Timo to get off the freaking schneid.
Well, you have him in his comfortable position today, so he's not stuck playing on one of these wingers. He's playing up top where he feels the most comfortable. You got Pulisic and Ziyech back, so it's just now a change. The whole game plan changes for them too. They can't get in that same offense that they were probably planning to. Now down 2 goals. Now they're going to be pressing. They're going to be trying to make things happen. I saw, just a few minutes ago, Pulisic was in a decent position, and I think he was over pressing a little bit, trying to make something happen. Now down 2 goals, and they turned the ball over. So,
oh boy, It's tough. It's a tough year.
It is. It's a lot of expectations. A lot of expectations on the Chelsea team with the money spent.
And that's the thing. That's just, you're stuck. Your hands are tied with the transfer ban, and you got to play who you got to play last year, and it works out for the most part. You get Champions League spot, and then this year the pocketbook just comes open, and you're throwing money at Havertz and Werner and Ziyech. You're like, yeah, this is going to be great. Bring in Thiago, Benny, bring in a competent goalie, or what we think is competent. And you think, oh, everything's just going to go swimmingly, but it's been quite the opposite.
I was going to say it has not been that way. And yeah, this is a big game because you have City, you have Chelsea, Villa, City, Southampton, and West Ham all sitting at 26 points. West Ham has already played, so they had 17 games. City's only 15th game, to where this is Chelsea's 17th game.
Right.
And obviously if this, holds, that puts Chelsea down to the 7th spot. Villa will have only played 15 games as well. So they will have 2 games, more played than some of the competition that's right there with them in the points. And Arsenal will only be 3 points behind them if they, as bad as it's been, that's pretty wild to see how drastic 1 week can make. We talk about it all the time. 1 week, 2 weeks, 6 points, 9 points. How quick a team can go here and how quick a team can come here. Yeah.
That's the way this league works. That's why it's the best.
Yeah.
You string a couple wins together, you string 3 together, you're like Arsenal, you're just sitting pretty after you're almost in the basement.
Yeah, we're almost cracked the top 10 again.
A win streak can do you good, and it's been like even last year. There's times where a team, they're so bunched up in the middle, a couple wins in a row, you could go from 10th to 3rd or 10th to 4th. Yeah. Like, it's been how this league has been. You have opportunities to make moves.
Yeah, they need to find a way to test Stefan here. I mean, they have not done so yet. They're a little bit light in possession so far. They do have 2 shots on target, but it hasn't been much of anything. So if you're Chelsea, you got to get the ball in your half of the pitch right now, and you got to find ways to test Zach.
Yeah, an inexperienced goalie. You gotta get after him early. You can't let him sit in there comfortably. I can't believe I'm saying this, but whatever. Poor Zach.
Yeah, I mean this is. I'm even looking here like, oh, nice ball. But see, Pulisic, you got to pull the trigger, man. You got to shoot that ball. Nothing. Wow. Great, beautiful possession. They get into the box. They have numbers in the box. Great little 1-2 between Timo and Pulisic. And Pulisic hesitates, doesn't shoot, takes the extra touch. They try to play around with it, try to send a chip in. And next thing you know, it gets cleared. Now they have it back. They were able to keep possession again. But just squandered that one right there, too, on a play that just – the problem for you guys right now is with all the injuries, this core that you need to win games hasn't played together. Pulisic, Timo, and Ziyech. I couldn't tell you. From your end, when the last time those 3 have been your front 3 together, healthy, ready to go.
Yeah. So
the chemistry is just probably not there either, and that's tough.
Yeah, you could say that. Getting the chemistry down, but I mean,
Well, you're 3 world class players. You got to.
Yeah, it's just confidence too.
Yeah.
Or it's just Timo and Kai. They're just not getting up to speed with the Premier League as quick as they might have thought. I mean, Timo's been in good positions, but he just needs to finish. His finishing has been terrible.
His finishing has, and Lord Walker alluded to that last week as well. Definitely, that's been Timo's biggest issue. Is the finish.
He's 9 games without a goal. That's his longest in his career. He had 1 9-game goalless drought for Leipzig. No. Yeah. So this would be number 10, and this, if he doesn't score today, that'd be the longest goal drought of his career. For a guy that used to just putting the ball in the net.
You got to get him in. He's got to get in the net now. Down 2-0 too in this game. He's got to find a way. The only way Chelsea has a chance, I think, in this one is him do something here.
Give me some heroics, man.
Right.
Shit. I guess the only one we didn't really say, there's one game tomorrow. Southampton,
good one,
Liverpool. Too. Yes. Really, really good.
That's a good one. That's another one of those teams that's just competing. They're, you would think they're even better than they have been because of how well they were, but Southampton's sitting 9th in that bunch of teams that have the 26 points right now.
That's even surprising.
Yeah, and this is a big game for them. It's a big game for Liverpool too, because Liverpool's been playing really well of late. They need to start winning as well. They need to avoid drawing. I mean, the last 2 games they draw West Brom and they draw Newcastle. I mean, Liverpool that's 4 points that you expect them to have that they've left on the table with not winning those games, and they could have a nice little lead here in the table.
They could be even worse if they played actually up to they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, well, scoring, I think they put too many in against Crystal Palace, and that's cost them. You never expect them to draw a team like West Brom at home, and then to go on the road to Newcastle. Not so crazy to see, but a 0-0 draw against a Newcastle team that just does not defend well. Kind of surprising, too. So
I'm just banking it on just the amount of games, I guess, recently. I don't know. Can't really put my finger on it, how they couldn't score a goal against Newcastle and even beat a West Brom team who allows goals to everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, and going back before the Tottenham win, they tied Fulham. So, it feels like they're kind of overlooking these bottom table teams, and not so much that they're losing to them, but enough that they're just squeaking out these draws, and they're definitely like this Liverpool team last year and even the year before that don't leave those points on the table. And that's why they were able to jump out to such significant leads in the table last year, and just run away with it with, them in City the year before and have such a commanding point differential between, with those two over the rest of the league. This year, definitely a little bit more parity with them. Oh, boy.
No.
Oh, boy.
No.
Oh,
no.
boy.
No.
Oh. Good. Oh, my God. No, that's 3. That's 3. Raheem Sterling gets a breakaway. It looks like Mendy's going to defend it. Kind of comes out of the net. Defense gets back. Play breaks down. Sterling hits post. De Bruyne follows 3-0. And this was off a set piece. Chelsea has a set piece, and this is in total transition. Nobody stays back. Nobody gets back. N'Golo Kante tries to launch one. He gets back on Sterling, You think he saves the play. Chelsea goes deep in, and nope, it's just not enough. Nobody plays the ball off the rebound. Four Chelsea uniforms watching De Bruyne put in the back of the net, and it's getting ugly here. 3-0 City. And Adam's reaction says it all.
If I had the energy to yell and scream, I would be going off right now, but I just can't.
Yeah, they're really lucky. Adam's been dealing with illness this last 4 days and just doesn't have the juice in him to go off on his team. Well, we'll save it for next week because we'll have plenty in between now and next week to really see the state of your squad here.
Oh boy, and it's also bad. I think it's bad that I get to stew on it for so long because there's no game. There's no games next weekend either.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We do have a quick little break.
They're giving them a little bit of a break. I think games start up next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, instead.
Yeah, because you have FA Cup in this coming week here.
Ah, that's right.
FA Cup and Carabao Cup for those that are still remaining in these fixtures. So let's see. Yeah, wow. So Chelsea does have an FA Cup on the 10th. That's a game that they definitely better not lose. That's all I'll say.
Who's that?
They're playing They're playing Morecambe. From they're seventh in the English League Two.
Oh, League Two, nice.
Yeah, they're in 7th place in English League Two.
Morecambe Wanderers or something.
Yeah, I mean they play teams like Coventry City, and yeah,
Petersborough.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a bounce back opportunity for Chelsea, I guess.
That sounds like a good
beat up.
Yeah, you just start your starting 11. You roll them out there and just hope you just destroy the team to get yourself a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, see that and that's unfortunate. That's a game that you look at and you
Chelsea, should be resting people.
Yeah, and now I feel like you can't. Now it's like a punishment. Like get out there.
Oh,
show me that you guys can actually play.
Poor Morecambe Wanderers are going to be in for it.
And then they get Fulham the following game.
West London Derby.
Yeah, so that'll be January 15th. So there's a lot of time that you're going to have to stew over these recent issues unless you can really find something in this halftime speech. I don't know what Frank says to the guys.
I'm throwing like water coolers in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm punching somebody in the face.
God damn. Like embarrassing all around.
Yeah. And I mean, 2 of them I've watched. I've sat here and watched. I mean, your man in Thiago Silva, as good as he's gotten the defense playing of recently, 2 of those goals were just him not playing well.
He looked so promising, and I think the stretches of games that he's asked to play, he's not a young buck anymore.
No.
And he's supposed to be that guy that's supposed to be the veteran leader, calm everybody down. Kurt Zuma's played fantastic this season. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah.
But Thiago seems to be that calming presence back there. But if you're the guy that's giving defense, causing them some concern, then why are you even in the team? But they don't have anyone better. Christensen's terrible. Rudiger's not the same guy he used to be.
No, you don't want to spend more money, but it's almost another position you need to address, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
Shoulda-
put
you
that
shoulda kept
Kai money to Koulibaly. Overpay him instead of.
Maybe you should have just stuck with like Tomori, who was actually playing pretty well, and given his opportunities.
And he gets loaned
And
out.
now you loaned him out because you had to go spend all that money. Like another case right here, Chilwell and Pulisic. Just they had something going, and they're a step off. They're just not. They haven't had. It looks like they just haven't had enough time playing together with all these injuries and everything that they've been going through. These are little things here and there that are just costly for you.
So dumb.
Yes. But on a bright spot, Zach Steffen is faced 4 shots and has not let one up yet against this Chelsea team. So bright spot for U.S. soccer. Maybe, our goalie, we figured our goalie spot was pretty much safe to be his job. But, seeing things like this definitely help make you feel a little bit more comfortable so far when he's doing it at the club level as well for a big team against a big team. He hasn't faced anything too crazy, but he hasn't let anything up yet either. So all 4 shots were on. They were on target.
It's basically Steffen's job to lose the U.S. goalie spot.
Yeah.
That's only if he plays terrible.
You look at the numbers, like the possession numbers are almost the same. You're 22 minutes for City, 19 for Chelsea. You have 10 shots for City on 6 on target compared to 4 for Chelsea. And that's a big difference in the
huge. Oh no, Brian's cut out.
I'm in, I'm out.
Oh, you're in.
I'm out. Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, it's that weird time of the day. The internet likes to get busy. About noonish around here. Start losing a little signal.
Everyone's up and about.
Yeah, I was quite angry the other day. I was trying to play some Ultimate Team, and if your internet signal drops, it counts as a loss. So I lost like 4 games because my internet signal kept dropping.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Luckily,
technology.
I wasn't playing, got to start hardwiring for these big Ultimate Team games. Can't be losing signal, making my record look pretty rough.
Right.
Oh, man. Come on, Pulisic. You got to do better than that, man. Who was that? João Cancelo? Just pickpocketing him.
Shit.
So on a bright note, we haven't even got there. It was the last game. Was this 4-0 victory for Arsenal over West Brom. Finally beating a team that you're supposed to beat. Shutting Big Sam up.
Yeah.
Talking about relegation. You worry about yourself getting relegated there, Sam.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not in relegation position anymore.
I think Big Sam's he's just trying to stir the pot up for his own boys.
Well, he stirred the pot up real nice. Arsenal has one of their best productive games of the year and puts a 4th spot on them. And now our goal differential is back in the green, +1, sitting 11th in the table.
It was a good game.
West Brom it
was fun to watch. I love a good snow game.
Yeah, you got to love a snow game.
That's the best. Snowing in the Midlands.
Yeah, and West Brom is what we thought they were, and they are 19th, -28 in the goal differential, still in the single digit in points, and they should be worrying about relegation. So,
I mean, they don't. It's a common factor with teams in the bottom. These teams don't score.
Yeah.
West Brom cannot score. They brought in Carlin Grant to maybe bring in some type of scoring, and he hasn't done anything. Diangana and Pereira haven't done shit. Last year they were so potent in the championship. This year it's been nothing. Callum Robinson's been
I was gonna say Callum Robinson, the other Callum
hit or
of the
miss.
Premier League. Yeah.
But Charlie Austin, they've even tried to bring off the bench as a spark. He's not a Prem player anymore.
Well, that's why Big Sam should shut his big mouth.
He tried.
Worry about his own self. Instead of trying to put his, bury us down in relegation zone already.
He's been around the block. He knew he was trying to do something.
Yeah, well, maybe he was trying to fire up Arsenal. Maybe. I appreciate it. Keep talking. Because ever since he said that, they've been running.
Just a little bulletin board motivation for Big Sam.
Your boy's over here just trying to do everything on his own.
Who Pooley's trying to dribble through like 3 guys?
Oh yeah, he's doing it. He's taking guys on, and then he gets the foul called on him. Is that called on? Yeah. Or no? Who's that? Oh, it's called on who? Oh, they called it on. Oh no, they did. A yellow card to Pulisic.
Brutal.
Oh, he's trying to make an offensive play, and he's getting yellow cards called on himself because he's trying to dribble around. What the? So this doesn't make any sense. He gets a yellow, but they did get the free kick to Chelsea. I don't understand.
When it's going bad, it's going bad.
Yeah. Another easy save for Stefan. Got about another minute till halftime here.
So putting my Chelsea hat on, what the fuck? Putting my U.S. men's national team hat on, great to see Zach playing well. And that's the only excitement I could get off my chest right now.
Yeah, it's like it's so hard not to root for Zach Steffen right here, but obviously on your end, it's
let it maybe like 1 or 2, and I'll totally understand.
Yeah, we won't kill you for it.
I know you just want to see your fellow U.S. guy Pooley get one on you. That's another thing. He's probably like, you better not score on me.
Oh, they probably had a little side bet going. And now you can't even root for him to let up 1 or 2. If he's going to let him up, he's got to let up at least 3 so you get back in the game. Like it's either clean sheet or completely give it up and let Chelsea back in this thing.
Well, I think good news is if he lets up 1 or none, the City fans are going to be like, we should just have Zach Steffen in net instead of Ederson. He's better.
Let's do it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. It only helps us in the long run.
Yeah, give that man the job. They got a Carabao Cup game coming up against United on the 6th. Then they got an FA Cup on the 10th coming up against Birmingham City.
Ooh.
And then they get Brighton on the 13th. They get Palace on the 17th. Like their schedule says, let's go Zach Steffen.
All right. Maybe
you give Ederson the Carabao Cup game. But see, Ederson, I guess he's not even in the 18 today. The backup is, who the hell did I see their backup was today?
I wonder if he got hit with COVID.
Maybe he's on the COVID list. That's something I did not honestly pay attention to going into this thing. Because right now the backup is good old Scott Carson. Nice 35-year-old English goalkeeper.
Oh, the journeyman.
Been around the block a little bit. Most recently, holy crap, Derby, Wigan, West Brom. This guy's been Villa,
He's
Liverpool, Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday, Bursaspor, Charleston Athletic.
He's been on like every team in League One.
Yeah, so he is Zach's backup for the day. So let's see if I can relish his role as Steffen's mentor. Still hopes to play. So that was, yeah. He's got more gray in the beard than me and Sweeps do here. So he's he's looking
fantastic beards.
Let's hope, I guess, for the sake of Zach Steffen, Scott Carson isn't taking his job. That means things have not gone so well.
True that.
But I was trying to get a read on why Ederson is not available here.
You got to be COVID.
I'm guessing so.
But yeah, we are in halftime, by the way. 3-0, Man City, unfortunately. I guess the last 10 minutes, do you want to go down your biggest winners of 2020 and what we maybe can expect 2021?
Yeah, sure. And just to confirm 100% it is COVID. He was
okay.
There was 5 guys on the list and he was one of them. So good opportunity for Zach.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so obviously this is the first show of the new year. And last year felt like it took forever with the pause. So you're kind of forgetting. I barely remember what happened like 2 days ago. So now we have to remember what happened like last September, October, November,
right?
December. But I mean, I think the biggest winner of 2020, it's hard not to give it to Liverpool. I know that's probably like the lazy man's winner, but when you win as, going ahead as they did at such a point differential, with Kloppo winning Coach of the Year, with Robbo and, Salah all doing well. I mean, and Van Dijk probably Defender of the Year. I mean, when you have so many accolades on one team, it's hard not to give Liverpool probably Team of the Year. I'd say going forward, and this doubles back to the poll question, I think United have something really strong. I think they have a good young team. I think the Bruno Fernandes addition is probably going to be or was the biggest signing of last year and made the biggest impact. I would say going forward again, bold prediction that I don't think Frank Lampard's going to keep his job. I really don't. I think and probably Coach of the Year might go to, oh boy. I love the way I love what Ralph has done at Southampton. He's been great, but has he earned that title? Probably not. And it could be the year of United. If all things fall into place, you could really see a sweep of Bruno Fernandes Player of the Year and Ole Gunnar Coach of the Year. And that's that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, if it keeps trending in this direction, absolutely. 2020 was a very strange year, like you said. We got off roaring in that time. Obviously, when COVID hit, then we had a huge break, and the season got extended. And it was kind of strange to think that the Liverpool win came so early. It was kind of anticlimactic with the year before and that race between Liverpool and City. And then Liverpool had gotten off to such a major lead. And then you had the break. And it was like, at that point, it was almost like everybody was coming back. And it was just a matter of time till we were crowning Liverpool the champion. Like, no one else was going to make that push. Our more excitement came in watching the the last pushes for the last Champions League and Europa League spots, I think. Who was going to not get relegated kind of got to be the more exciting part of that. If we're sticking Prem only, yeah, I mean, you have to give Liverpool Team of the Year, without a doubt. I think in the total game of soccer, I would go, with my other squad, my other love, Byron, as the total Team of the Year.
Sure.
With that late run in their league, and then obviously the Champions League win. Which again, it's just weird because it's like hard to keep the balance of, Champions League ended and then Champions League fired right back up again within the same year. So obviously our new Champions League winner will be crowned in 2021 for this one, and we'll have a new Prem winner again in 2021. I think looking ahead, I'm interested to see who's going to do what. I'm interested to see what direction, obviously, my own team goes, what kind of moves they're going to make here, how much things keep trending. Is Arteta going to save his job? Should he? I've stated numerous times I think he should. He's making a case for it now in this last week all of a sudden. He needs the players. He needs the help. I think he'll finally get some more contributions and be able to hopefully go out this window and add some things. I don't know. I'm intrigued, like we talked about, to see who's going to come back, see who's going to go bye-bye. It's sad to see Sheffield, after they were our greatest story of late 2019 and all of 2020 for a while there. And now they've kind of tapered off, and they're going to kind of fade off, and see who's going to make their way back. So I don't know. My favorite moment, I guess, I would have to say, I wish Lord Walker was on here, but I'd have to say, those wins, as sad as it is, it's not one of the biggest trophies, but winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield, seeing Arsenal get some hardware again was a nice thing. I don't know. My positivity is still not 100% yet. Obviously, it's been nice to see those couple dubs there, but there's still a lot of work to do, I guess, on my squad's end. So
Yeah, I mean, it's trending up, but I mean, we said that before.
Yeah, it was trending up in the beginning of this season, not this year, but this season. And then all of a sudden it hit a really low. It hit the lowest of the lows, one of the lowest of the lows in the history of Arsenal. And I guess the only positive to say is for still hitting that, and now looking where they're at after a good week and a half here, it's not over yet.
Right. It's not. We still got a long way to go. We're still halfway there. And there's a lot of soccer to be played. A lot of shit can happen in the next, 18 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think outside of the Prem, best thing that's happened is the Union winning their first trophy for me personally. Again, it's been a crazy, ridiculous, shitty-ass year for a lot of people, and I think seeing that lifting the Community Shield was probably the highlight of the year. Waiting that long in a club history where you were looking really bad at some points, and the past 3 years, at least definitely 2, you're seeing such a turnaround with winning the trophy, selling 2 players basically now. Mark McKenzie, I think, is going to go to Genk.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but yeah, it's looking like that's going to happen possibly.
So that's, I think they're about to get 13 mil, the Union, this year, just from Aronson and McKenzie alone. So it's a bright spot that's, I think, one thing positive coming out of 2020 is the union.
Yeah.
And
U.S. soccer.
U.S.
I would say
soccer
too.
trending upwards. I know we've talked about it before how excited we are that, you look at the Champions League teams that are left, and there's basically a U.S. kid on almost every team that's left. Which
and irrelevant.
Yes, and playing valuable minutes. I can't talk. Again, before we get out of here, I'm sorry, you guys. I wanted to come on. I didn't want to miss a show for the people. I'm playing at probably like 60%. So if I could sound like complete shit rewatching this, I apologize, but I didn't want to miss a show. And today I felt like the best I felt in like 4 or 5 days. And fingers crossed that I do not have the Rona.
Just giving the people what they want. This is what we do here. And yes,
I'm fighting through the pain. But again, I wanted to come on and we wanted to give you guys a show. I didn't want to miss, especially the first one in 2021. So thank you guys for bearing with me here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we got some big things in store for the rest of the year. We've had Lord Walker on a few times, and Adam and I have talked about trying to get him in a little bit more of a continuous role on the show. Along with that, some guests, hopefully as well, going into 2021. Some names that would be really awesome if we could get get going on here. Yeah, so we're trending forward. Anybody else, we've talked about that has any interest in joining us, you have access to us on our own social medias, or also on Kickin at Stateside. You can message me on the Twitter or the Facebook. You can message Adam on the IG. You can reach out to us through A2D. However you want to reach us, if you have any aspirations to come on and talk with us, we're always welcome to have more people join the party. So it's just we're looking up to a big year.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy how it's been like, what now? October was 1 year at A2D for us. We're approaching a nice milestone here with that, and we've got a lot of shows under our belts, and it's been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of different places we've been and things we've done through this year, and it's pretty telling of the kind of year it has been. But at the end of the day, it's been a great year. We're still here kicking it, still doing our thing, and it's only trending up, bro. So let's keep you COVID free, pray, and be ready. Be ready for this big stretch here and an awesome finish to, I think, what's going to be a really good Prem season. Yeah, I think it might. This might be one of those years that really comes down. We might be doing one of those, shows on the final day, crowning a champion on the final day. That would be awesome, as opposed to like 3 weeks early this year. So,
yeah, I mean, it's all from what 2020 gave us. I mean, it's definitely brought some good shit to the forefront, especially not just us, but A2D. I think as a whole, we've really made some big strides, and it's only going to get better. I mean, just talking with Tommy and some of the guys and some of these new shows that they've been great. Tori coming on and Lindsay and Ariana.
Rachel's show.
Rachel's been great.
Solid.
Rachel Blaze.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's been kicking
it.
Everybody's been pulling their own shit. And again, takeover talk. We're coming. Be ready.
Yeah, you got weekly roundup later today. So
get all the skepticisms and all the rumors out of your Carson Wentz. He's scratched today. He's not playing at all. He's inactive. So hopefully we'll see big Nate Sudfeld out there later.
Oh, and Eddie woke up. He said, "Remember when Keppa was the scapegoat? Good times." I knew he was gonna have something to say. He may have not made it on here today.
He's got something in the back pocket.
Hold on, showed up from Kep's Twitch.
Yeah, Kep's. He does the Eagles simulations every night before the Eagles games. That's very awesome as well. If you're
Yeah,
a big
well,
Madden,
I'm gonna start doing those in FIFA too. We're gonna pick a game of the week. And
oh,
I
we
wanna
should do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I can simulate them on FIFA 21. So
We do have a Twitch channel, which I need to dust off the cobwebs on. But
yeah, Kickin it Stateside does and A2D does now as well. So if we could get them streamed on both of those
that'd
for
be
the
pretty
new
cool.
year, that's another.
Pick like
that's
a
another
game of the
goal for
week
the new
from the Prem and just like simulate it.
Yeah,
Good ideas. See?
yeah, big things coming here.
All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna watch my team probably get their asses beat,
Yeah.
badly. and then I'm gonna cry.
Let's go, Zach. That's all. I got one. I guess let's go, Zach.
Go, Zach Steffen. Yay.
That's my
All right,
only
everybody.
takeaway here. So
Thanks
all right,
again
brother.
for tuning in.
Feel better. We'll talk this week, and yeah, thank you, everybody. Love you guys.
Love you guys. We will see you next